ポピーの部屋。あ、これタコじゃない？
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
お、ロクトパス。あ、それは笑うべきかしら？
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
あ、このさ、目のさ、模様ってさ、塔のさ、フローラさんの塔の天井にもあったよね。
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
あ、これね、これも目？ああ、魔法陣みたいだね。
More handwritten sheet music.
ここにも手書きの楽譜があるわね。これ楽譜なんだ。
More handwritten sheet music. More handwritten sheet music.
これは？
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor.
床に服が積まれてる。
Nothing weird about that.
特におかしな点はないな。
To you.
あなたにとってはね。あ、これ洗濯物が確かに。
Anything in the wardrobe?
ワードローブには何
Dresses
か？
mostly.
主にドレス。
I never realized there are so many shades of black.
同じ黒でもこんなにたくさんの種類があるなんて知らなかったわ。アンミカさんみたいなことある。言ってるわ。白って200色あんねんでみたいな。黒もたくさんあるんだね。
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off.
これは絶対に電球が切れてるな。
Empty.
何もない。ん？これ何？
Gloomy.
暗い感じ。
But roomy.
だが部屋は広いぞ。あ、これ広い？なんかそんなに広そうに見えないけど。
That is the bed of a vampire.
あそこで吸血鬼が寝てるのかもしれ
I
ない。
thought vampires slept in coffins.
吸血鬼って棺桶で寝るんだと思ってたけど。
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
この吸血鬼は腰回りのサポートがしっかりしてないとダメなタイプなの。あ、わかる。あんな長時間寝るんだったらやっぱりね、棺桶じゃ体痛くなるよね。
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
これは？
That is the
I
bed of
thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
More handwritten sheet music.
That is the bed
I
of
thought vampires slept in
This is
coffins.
a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. Anything in the drawers?
引き出しに何かあるか？
Nothing you need to know about.
あなたが知らなくてもいいものよ。洋服が入ってる。
A single red rose.
赤いバラが一
How
本。
very traditional.
急に普通すぎる感じだな。
Weird.
逆に怪しいわ。これあれじゃない？フィッツさんがくれたというか見せてくれてたやつじゃない？
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles.
ああ、ありがたい。ろうそくが7本もついてる。
Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
ここで真っ暗なんてごめんだからな。これなんかちょっと怪しいね。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。これピアノ。
There's a name for this kind of piano.
この手のピアノってなんて名前だっけ
You
な？
know, these ones that stand upright?
知ってるか？このライトアップされてるやつ。ライトアップされてる？
Sheet music, presumably for piano.
ピアノの楽譜だ
It's。only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
音符が少ししかないわ。楽譜っていうほどのものではないわ
It's been
ね。
framed though. Must be important for some reason.
でも額に入ってる。きっと大切なものなんだろう。額に入った楽譜、繊細でレトロな絵で飾られている。これもバラだ。本当だ、すごい少ない。少ない音符っていうの？音数しか書かれてない。
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
1、2、3。あ、これ全部で7つってことね。
Gloomy.
But roomy.
で、これ怪しいね。これあれじゃない、庭に行くとこ。
A big glass door leads out into a garden.
庭に
Somehow,
つながってるんだな。何らかの方
There's a
法で。
little mechanism by the handle.
取っ手の脇にちょっとした仕掛けがあるわ。これあれだ。対になってんじゃないって言ったやつだ。これってもしかしてさ、フィッツさんの部屋と対になってるってこと？
nothing. Still locked.
All 4 tiles have a moon symbol.
4個のタイルに月の記号がついてる。
Those other symbols look like suns. Surely that's something to do with it?
他の記号は太陽みたいだ。何かしら関係してるはずだ
I
よ
think
な
it。is, but in an abstract kind of way.
そうだと思うわ。でも何か抽象的な意味でね。なるほどなるほど。なんか反対側は逆だったよね。このなんていうの？このはめる方に書いてある方が月で、動かせるのが太陽だった気がするけ
I
ど、ちょっ
guess
と
we'll
こ
come
れ
back
は
later.
後にしよう。
It's a metronome for keeping time.
メトロノームよ。テンポを合わせるためのね。
It's ticking.
時計みたいな音だな。
Is it a bomb?
爆弾か？
It's supposed to be ticking.
そういう音を出すものな
I'm
のよ。
not sure what those symbols are, though.
でもこの記号がどういう意味なのかはわからないわ。ボタンを押してすべてのダイヤルが一番上の1にはまるように回転させる。どういうこと？ああ、なるほど。そういうこと？こういうこと？
There we go.
それでいいの？
Perfect. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
裏にある小さなカバーが開いたの
Anything in
よ。
there?
何か入ってるか？
It's a photograph.
写真だわ。
Part of a photograph.
正しくは写真の一部。これ誰？破れた写真。ブロンドの髪にピンクの服を着た女の子が写った写真。女の子は明るいピンク色のカセットプレイヤーを腰につけ、同じ色のヘッドホンをしている。もう片方の写真にはフィフィとプレイヤーが写っている。それはプレイヤーの部屋に隠されていた。これポッピーさんでは私っぽくないでしょって言ってたけどさ。そうなのでは？なんか昔こういうビジュアルだったことがあるのでは？
There's something about that pink cassette tape.
ピンクのカセットテープが引っかかるんだ。
Something
何か
suspicious.
匂うな。
Let's ask Poppy about it.
オッケー、聞きに行こうか。ここ調べるの忘れてたわ。まだこれについて聞いてみようか。
It's mine.
弾いてもらう？
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized. Yeah, it's mine.
弾いてくれるってことはきっと関係があるんだ。
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her.
なるほど。何もしない。はーん。なるほど。フレイヤも一緒に習ってた時期があるけどやめちゃったんだ。才能あるのにやめちゃった。
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
これや
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
そうだよね。やっぱりそうだよね。ポピーさんなんだよね、きっと。ちょっとこれ調べてなかったわ。
Whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
何なのかわからないが、トランペットを演奏してるみた
Well,
い
it
だ。
is the music room.
だってここは音楽室でし
Just
ょ。
gotta practice.
練習あるのみ
What's
よ。
with all the broken glass?
その割れたガラスはなんだ？あ、またこれだ。奇妙な生き物が大きな管楽器を演奏している光り輝く像。ホーン全体にひびが目立っている。ホーンの中やその下の地面には割れたガラスの破片が散らばっている。これね。あ、かわいいこの中ぽっこりしてて。なんだろうかこれは。
There's a faded mural on the wall.
色あせた壁画が
When
あ
I
る
was a
な。
kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
子供の頃壁画とモザイク画の違いがわからなかった。
You still don't know, do you?
今もわからないだろう。
No.
そうなの。あ、これのこと？これじゃなくて？
There's a faded
When I
mural.
was a kid, I never knew the difference.
You still don't know, do
No.
you? There's a faded mural
When
on
I
the
was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
同じか。
wall. You still don't know, do you?
No.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
誰かバイオリンを弾くの
It's
か？
pretty dusty.
かなりほこりっ
So
ぽい。
I'm guessing nobody.
きっと誰も弾かないのよ。
One old wooden bookcase.
古い木製の本棚が一つ。
25 dry old books.
乾いた古い本が25冊。
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
火のついた、ろうそくが4本。
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
危険を察知してるのは私だけか？これさ、本棚に置いたら危なくない？
Alright, you got your wish.
ということで、君の願いは叶った
Spooky murder mansion?
薄気味悪い殺人屋敷のこと？
Spooky murder mansion.
そう、薄気味悪い殺人屋敷。
Alright, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
これは？
Are they paper lanterns?
あれは紙のランタン。
Whatever they are, I'll like them.
なんであれ私は好きよ。
It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
漂う魂がパレードしてるみたい。あら素敵。あ、これね、かわいいね。
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I'll like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
これみんな同じ？
Are they paper
Whatever
lanterns?
they are, it's like a little parade of floating.
同じか。
Smells like a forest in here.
ここは森みたいな匂いがするわ。いや、これすごい素敵じゃない？部屋の中にこうやってさ、木が生えてるってなんかすごい憧れちゃうけど。
It's a globe.
あ、これ地球儀なの？
For globing.
地球を回すためのな。
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
蓋の開いた大きなピア
Don't
ノ。
touch it.
触らない
Why
で。
not?
なぜ
It
だ
might
い？
be haunted.
呪われてるかもしれない。
That's just daylight, right?
日の光だよ
What
な。
else would it be?
それ以外に何があるわけ？
It's just daylight.
What
right?
else would it be?
同じか。
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
楽譜だ。手書きだね
That's。a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
音符がたくさん。難
Probably
し
while
そ
they're
う
on the
ね。
floor.
おそらくそれが理由で床に置いてあるんだろう。なんか教えてもらったさ、先生っているみたいなこと
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
言ってたけど、先生って誰だろう。
Alright, you got
Spooky murder mansion?
spooky murder mansion. Alright, you
Spooky murder mansion?
spooky murder mansion.
スプーキーモードマンションね。はいはい。
Alright,
Spooky murder.
spooky murder mansion.
これじゃあ全部見た感
Alright,
じ
Spooky murder.
spooky murder mansion.
はいはいはいはい。見たかな。これも同
Are
じで
they
しょ。
paper-
Whatever they like a little parade of.
じゃあ一通り見たのか。
Oh, whatever it is, it's
Well, it is. The music's gotta practice.
what's with all the broken glass?
これね、これ聞いてみようか。
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
ああ、誰かわかんないけどピアノ使ってるみたいってこと。なるほどなるほど。はてさてどうしようか。ちょっと待って。あ、これ聞き忘れてるわ。疑惑。
Yeah, I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure, it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
お、聞ける。誰かがあなたにプレゼントして送った。誰かがテープの色を変更した。あなたは昔こういう色が好きだった。これじゃない？でもこれ聞いちゃったら、この残り聞けない感じ？でもまあ、聞いてみよう。
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
あ、なるほど。証明できるものを突きつける。じゃあこれでしょ。これね、きっとこれに入ってたんじゃない？
Let's take a closer look at this.
もっと調べる。なるほど。この2つの手がかりの共通点。どういうこと？なるほどなるほど。はいはいはいはい。ピンクのカセットテープは事件現場で発見。フレイヤの部屋はこの古い写真でフィフィが使ってフィフィが使っていた？ポッピーの部屋で見つかったものじゃないよね。 これか。ピンクのカセットテープは事件現場で発見され、写真のポピーが使っているピンクのカセットプレイヤーと合致する。
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it.
まだある？なんか。どういうこと？どういうこと？あ、ちょ、待って。なにこれじゃな
This
い
is the
の？
left side. We're looking for the right side.
あ、そういうこと？これあれだよね。
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up and then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
ポピーはフィフィとプレイヤーのことが嫌い。ポピーはもうそんな見た目でいたくない。この写真はポピーが殺人犯であることを証明している。いや、これは真ん中じゃない？なんかその昔の自分黒歴史的なことなんじゃない？
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
Reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
同じか。じゃあもうこれで聞いたと。なるほどね。昔はああいうピンクを基調とした見た目だったんだけど、それはどういう理由かわかんないけど、ポッピーさんにとっては黒歴史的なものなんだ。でも当時送ったピアノの音楽っていうのは、フレイヤは今でもかけて絵を描いてると。なるほど。ちょっと待って。私これ調べたっけ？
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
天文台には必ず望遠鏡が必要だ。
I want to try.
ちょっと触ってみたいわ。あ、ほら、これ調べるの忘れてた。これフローラさんだよ。
Is that a window?
あれは窓？
I think it is.
そうみたいだ。
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there.
ねえ、そうだよね。なんか違和感がこの部屋にあるって言ったのそれじゃない？上に部屋があるんじゃない？ねえ、このどうやって行くのかわかんないけどさ。
You can see right into Flora's room.
フローラのいるところが丸見え。
Not by accident.
偶然とは思えない。
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up.
フローラが見える。でもこっちは見ていないな。上の方を向いてる。これ上の方向いてる？
Behind her is the back side of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting.
彼女の後ろにあるイーゼルに例の絵がある。
I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
その後ろには何も見えない。この角度からはね。なんかさ、事件が起きた当時さ、パーシバル教授 は星を見ててこれを使ってたっていうならさ、この塔の方が見えてた可能性はあるよね。でもフレイヤがそこにいたかっていうのはここの角度からは見えないんだ。
It's too dark back there. I can't really see anything.
暗すぎる、何も見えない。
I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall.
扉が見える、廊下に続いてるんだ。
The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
ドアが床に倒れている、蝶使いが外れている。これはあれだよね。ポピーさんが、フィッツさんに蹴破ってって言ってこうなった。
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
あれはフローラが窓辺に置いている小さな植物。
Don't you think it would fall off in the wind?
風で落ちちゃうんじゃない
Maybe
か
it's。glued down.
接着剤で固定されてんじゃない？まあ確かにすごく危なっかしいとこにはあるね。
I can just about see the gramophone.
蓄音機がギリギリ見えるくらい。これで最後というか全部見た？
It's the tower opposite this one.
この塔の真向かいの塔。
It's the tower opposite this one.
じゃあ見たか？
It's too dark back there. I can't really see anything.
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. Behind her is the back side of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
なるほどね。
Isn't this
Yoshi.
supposed to be an astronomy telescope?
これは天文学用の望遠鏡じゃないのかねえ、隣の塔にピントが合ってるって変だよ
I'm
ね。
pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
天文学って空を見てないと成立しないと思うんだが、
I can't move it.
動かせな
I
い。
think this is just how it's set up.
そういう風に設置されてるみたい。あ、空じゃなくて塔が見えるようにも設置されてんの。
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits.
ポインターと天文学の関係が何か引っかかる。
Something suspicious.
何か匂
Let's
う
ask him
な。
about it.
あ、聞いてみよう聞いてみよう。そんなお尻振ってないで。
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
あなたは隕石が地球へまっすぐ向かっているのを発見した。あなたは惑星に自分の名前を付けようとしている。あなたは別に天文学には興味がない。なんかさ、なんだっけ、フローラさんの、夫さんのフィッツじゃないや、フィリックスのこと嫌いみたいだし、これさ、もしかして、なんかフローラさんのことが気になってて、この望遠鏡で星を見ると見せかけつつ隣の塔を監視してんじゃないの？
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
別の研究分野に興味がある。研究分野といったらこれ？
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
は自己反省が空の方へは向いてなかっ ったのは、あ、これか。実験現場を見ていたから。これじゃない？
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
なるほどなるほど。じゃあ教授は本当は昆虫の研究をしてて、それをフレイヤが盗んだんじゃないかって思って監視してた。で、殺人現場を見たんだけど、倒れてたのはフレイヤじゃなくてフローラ。フレイヤがいたかどうかは見えなかったってことか。どうしようか。聞いてみるか。ここだよね。3人が写真撮ってたところ。まあでも行けるとこ行ってみようか。ここか。大きな鳥小屋。わ、なんかすごいセクシーな感じの人がいる。
Beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
ペネロピ、改めペニーさんね。なんか頭にすごい鳥乗せてる。
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
おーっとフィッツさんのパートナーなの？もう一回。
Aquarius love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
鳥の研究をしている。
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
Fiancé.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
ああ、なるほど。ポインター家の人だよね。だけど、フェロー家のフィッツさんと婚約関係にある。
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
なるほど。表向きは4は買ってることにしてるけど、400羽ぐらいは買ってんの。
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
なるほど。なんかでもあれって言ってなかった？ホークショーさんはなんだっけ、手すりを掴んで様子が変だったみたいな。聞いてみよう。
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
フローラさんは鳥が好きだった。
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
あー、やっぱりそうなんだ。このポインター教授が、ホークショーさんを雇った。
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
なるほど。
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
やっぱりフレイヤめちゃくちゃ愛されてるな。
Oh, she's beautiful! Who is she? Wait, is that me?
あ、すごい自己肯定感高めな感じなのね。
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
本当に婚約者なのか？
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
ポッピーとは仲悪そうだ。じゃあ一個ずつ聞いていこう。
No, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
財産は全部ポッピーのものになる。
Finally, I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
あ、ちょっと今モノマネ入った。でもセンセーショナルって確かに言葉使ってたよね、ホークショーさん。
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
どこかで聞いた記憶がある。
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
ポピーがどうも嫌いだね。
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable.
あ、そっかそっか。ペネロピさんなんだっけ？ペニーさんだっけ？は20代だけど、他は19歳になったんだもんね。ちょっとお姉さんなんだ。
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
ピンクが3色ダサいったらない。
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
なるほど。そう、この2つ派手だから好きかなと思ったけど、そうじゃないのね。
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
いや、でもフレイヤは他の人から聞いた感じだと几帳面そうだけどね。
Oh, that's rather sad.
これは知ってるんじゃない？
Oh, did Fit show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
これは誰なんだろうね。誰があげたんだろう。
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
なんかお金にするつもりではなさそうな気はするよね。
I don't know what that is.
これはわかんない。
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
そうね、なんか鳥みたいだよね。
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
2年ぐらい前の写真。
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
なるほど。フィッツさんと、ポピーさんが写ってるから、ちょっと嫌なのね。
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
なんかちょっと知ってる感じか？もう一回聞いてみよう。
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? I thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
でもピアノの腕は認めてる感じ？
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
ああ、知ってるんだね。まあそりゃそうだよね。同じ棟で暮らしてんだもんね。で、2年ぐらい前でしょ？
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
一通り聞いたか？
We can get into Penny's room now.
あ、ペニーの部屋に入れるみたい。
Now, like, right now?
はーい、行ってみる？ペニーの部屋。あ、綺麗じゃない。